Hello everyone, welcome to Pune Times Mirror. This is Shreyas Wange. Today we are with Reena Jha Tripathi, Principal Chief Commissioner of the Income Tax Department, Pune Region. Hello ma'am, welcome to Pune Times Mirror. How are you doing today?
Thank you. All good.
So firstly ma'am, I would like to start by knowing that what exactly inspired you to pursue a career in the income tax field, and also can you share a memorable experience that made you to enter this field?
So, in my time, I'll be honest with you, I won't let girls were only groomed to get married. I used to study in a hostel in Delhi University, and Delhi is very, in those days, most important thing to do was to write the exam, and everybody in hostel was writing the exam. So I wrote the exam, and with God's blessing, I passed the exam, and that's what brought me into the service. So from one university, I went to the other, that is my training institute, which is National Academy of Direct Taxes in Nagpur. And the journey commenced. So there was no thought, no preconceived notion or planned idea. It's just that I am here, and almost more than 36 years I'm continuing.
That's great. That's really awesome. So next, ma'am, I would like to know what has been your approach of fostering an inclusive and diverse workplace within the department?
We have people, this is an pan-India job, people from all community, caste, all geographical locations come. So the first thing is to integrate them into the service. The second thing is to upgrade their skill. As you know, tax is dynamic, it keeps changing, the economic environment keeps changing. So we have to upskill them continuously. And when you upskill them, then there is a sense of purpose. And you have to train them, because they are not students, they are public servants. So you have to train them in behavior, in soft skills, in hard skills. Taxation is complex, the economic environment is complex. So capacity building, regular upgradation. So this helps in their integration into the service. And it also helps in good public delivery system.
Indeed, absolutely. So, ma'am, now we would like to know how do you stay updated with the ever-changing tax laws and regulations?
See, you have to, as I said earlier also, continuously upgrade. Upgrade means reading. There are tax journals, books. There is lot of information available in public domain. It was not like earlier when we joined, print was the only media. Now print is gradually relegated into background. The digital media, there are several platforms, there are several apps, there is numerous information available on the media, and that is how you get to know. Newspaper is again a very important source. I belong to the old school, so I like to read print even today. And a kind of economic, you can say, the indicators are there, and with experience and time, you update, but regular updation is required. It's not, you cannot conceive that you passed one exam, so some heavenly wisdom has dawned on you. Sorry, no. Regular updation is very much required to be a good professional.
Absolutely, very great, ma'am. So, next, I would like to know that can you discuss any significant projects you have handled that has brought significant changes or reforms?
When we came, computer was the C word. I'm 88 batch, so 90 I came into the field. Hardly anyone had heard about the computer. Some murmur was going on, and the computer was not so, you can say, user friendly. They taught us in the academy also, and I'm sorry, I mean, I'll be honest to admit I didn't learn anything. I still remember CD backslash and something would be done, but gradually it became user friendly, and which means that you can learn while using it. And in 94, when department went for massive computerization, like the computerization had started earlier, but its major impact was seen by 93, 94. And I was the project in charge in Bombay at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we built the first regional computer center. And the Honorable Finance Minister of that time inaugurated it. And that was the first PAN cards started being issued, which nobody knew what to do with them. And I'll share a very funny story.
Absolutely.
In bureaucracy, everything flows from the top. So when computers were purchased, I was a very junior officer in 94. So it was to be given from the top, the senior officer. The senior officers had no clue what computer was. And computer used to be covered, computers were purchased from IBM. And it used to be covered with a cloth.
Right.
Like you have seen a dulhan and the gungat, and it would always be covered. So we would tell, sir, let us open the computer. So one day, with great courage, he said, okay. I said, sir, you have to do it today. And so we switched on the computer, and he was just supposed to press a key. So he held my hand. Because if there is a shock, then I can pull him out without realizing that I will be also caught in it if he got. So from there to this age, we used to have a lot of agitation because people thought that computerization will lead to job loss. And lot of agitation. But today, if I tell my PS or anything to type on the typewriter, I don't think so. Nobody knows anything to do. So gradual digital integration was there, and whatever information or whatever updation we see, it all started from there.
Awesome. That's really great. So next, ma'am, coming to being a woman in this industry. So how do you deal with the criticism and opposition within the department as well as in the public?
See, a lot of people think, a lot of people think when you are on a public platform that women know nothing. So they are in for a big surprise, because that is a patriarchal mindset and patriarchy rules. But things have changed gradually. In 77 years of independence, people have started understanding that women are as good or as bad as anybody. And but you have to be doubly good to be called good, where man has to be half as good. So that mindset comes. But if you are good in your work, then people take you as professional. Another thing that in this department, one very good thing is this is knowledge-based department. So and only professionals, by and large, we deal with professionals. So they respect you for your professional conduct and your intellect, your integrity, and how you treat them. The discrimination that we think in the society, we don't face discrimination that way. Primarily because this is a knowledge-based.
Absolutely.
So that way Western India is more accepting of the women, I will say. Thanks.
So next, ma'am, coming back to the role of technology. So according to you, what role does technology play in the income tax department, in its improvement, in its growth, etc.?
Technology's role is immense. I mean, I cannot quantify it. See, now you have like some simple thing. Let's start. Return file, which all of us do. You can do it from the convenience of your home. You don't have to stand in line in the office. When I started, at the time of filing of return, 3-4 kilometer long line would be in Chowpatty, and police would be called to manage the crowd. Now, nothing of that kind. Like, you can do it anytime, 24 hours of the day. And what is this? This is technology. You have dynamic return filing. Even if you are, say, your assessing officer, say, is in Mumbai, you can sit in Kashmir and file the return. So this is technology. We have dynamic jurisdiction-free assessment. It is dynamic assessment. You don't have to go. They will give you notice, and it will come in your email. You just upload the reply, and that is be all and end all. So technology is huge. Another thing you would have seen, we have introduced the annual information system, where a lot of information is there, and it becomes so easy while filing your return. Lot of people, because of this AIS, have got to know of their own bank account which they were not aware.
That's it.
So a lot of information is in public domain, and this could not have been possible without the use of technology. So without this, now the department cannot imagine how it will function.
Indeed. And lastly, ma'am, I would like to ask you, since you are in this department working for many years, so is there any specific philosophy or motto that you live by and work by? Would you like to share with us?
Yes, it is. See, the first thing is excellence, continuous updation. As I said earlier also, no heavenly wisdom dawns on any one of us by clearing your exam. So, and integrity, public behavior, and ethics. If you have to be a facilitator. Taxpayers program does not mean that you have a big shamyana and just shout from the top. Taxpayers program, if anybody comes and you help them in doing the thing correct way, he goes as a happy person.
I would like to ask you one last question beyond the last. It's what message do you have to young aspiring women who want to join the income tax department?
Oh, it is a very good department for women. It has by and large a regular working hour. It's a huge organization. So you can be pan-India, you can be accommodated anywhere. And you will continuously, you have to learn. So you impart good values. So I'll say that all women are most welcome. It has always been a women-friendly department. I will not say women-centric, but women-friendly department. Second, and the most important message is, when you sit on the chair, you are neither a man or a woman. You are an officer and behave like one.
And one more last question to the last question is, what message do you have for the citizens of the state and for the country as far as paying taxes are concerned?
See, the citizens have to understand that tax is the cost of civilization. And what kind of civilization you want. If you want to develop a good civilization, please pay your tax honestly. You should focus on your earning rather than in paying your taxes, because if your earning improves, tax will bound to go up. It's a byproduct of your earning.
Along with Prince Chaudhary, senior correspondent for Pune Times Mirror.